Since June 2019, large-scale street rallies have been taking place in Hong Kong. One of the main reasons for them was the law on extradition of criminals to China. Its consideration was postponed, but the protest had become much more global by that time. The local citizens demanded freedom for the PRC and the investigation of brutal actions that the police had committed against them. Quite a few world corporations had also reacted to the protests. A great number of Western companies caved into the China Communist Party's demands on how to portray them. Trying to distance themselves from the protests, they have managed to support the Chinese censorship. So far, the biggest scandal was caused by the tweet of Houston Rockets basketball team general manager Daryl Morey. He expressed support to the protesters in Hong Kong. Following this, the Chinese Basketball Association announced that it will suspend work with the Rockets. The team has lost at least 2 Chinese sponsorships. At first, the NBA has apologized, saying that they are extremely disappointed with Morey's inappropriate comment. Yet this has turned fully after they have backpedaled and then supported Morey for his words. As of today, NBA is banned from any broadcasting in China.
We are not apologizing for Daryl exercising his freedom of expression. I regret, again, having communicated directly with many friends in China, that so many people are upset, including millions and millions of our fans.
After the Houston Rockets scandal, Nike has stopped selling their HR sneakers and other merchandise in major Chinese cities. Apart from that, popular Chinese e-commerce platforms such as Alibaba and JD.com have also taken Houston Rocket merchandise off their platforms. Alibaba told domestic media that Morey's comments had seriously hurt the feelings of Chinese people and that there was no room for negotiation. Along with this, sports channel ESPN, owned by Walt Disney Company, forbid any mentions of Chinese politics when discussing Houston Rocket issue. According to Deadspin, Chuck Salituro, the senior news director of ESPN, sent a memo to shows explicitly discouraging any political discussion about China and Hong Kong. The most recent case was the situation with Blizzard, one of America's biggest gaming companies. Bliss Chung Nguai, a Hong Kong-based Hearthstone pro player, has been suspended from Hearthstone Grandmasters for using his post-game interview to support protesters. The casters hosting the interview were also removed from their positions.
讲完那8个字，然后导播我们就结束，我们就什么也都不要聊了。然后你随时可以开始，头先低下来。
光复香港时代革命。
导播可以切回来了。好，导播谢谢。
Addressing fans and community's criticism, Blizzard Entertainment President J. Allen Brack said that such decision was not related to Chung's statement. He had allegedly violated the rules of the tournament stream, which should be about games and competition, and not serve as a platform for public statements. According to Brack, China had no influence on Blizzard's decision. The player would have been sanctioned for declaring the opposite as well. After criticism, the company reduced the term of Chung's ban from 12 to 6 months, and also promised to pay him $10,000 for playing a part of the tournament. A day before, on October 7th, Tiffany Co removed the photo from their Twitter account. It depicted a model covering her right eye with her hand. Some users, who are sometimes considered Chinese bots, thought that it was a reference to the female first aid volunteer shot in the right eye during a protest in August. In an email response to Reuters, Tiffany spokesman Nathan Strauss said the campaign imagery had been photographed in May and was not intended to be a political statement of any kind. Another clothing company to succumb to the pressure, Vans, has removed a popular entry by Canada-based artist Naomi So from its sneakers design competition. The design had multiple elements that referred to Hong Kong and alluded to the anti-government protests. For instance, a yellow umbrella was a symbol for Hong Kong 2014 pro-democracy protest. The red 5-petal flower is presented on a Hong Kong flag. There was also an illustration of protesters wearing yellow shirts, hard hats, and gas masks. The company said that they had rejected a small number of submissions in order to uphold the purpose of custom culture, but did not elaborate on why Naomi's design was removed. Vans issued a statement on Facebook in Chinese and English to explain why some submissions were removed. As a brand that is open to everyone, we have never taken a political position and therefore review designs to ensure that they are in line with our company's long-held values of respect and tolerance, as well as with our clearly communicated guidelines for this competition, the statement read. On October 10th, Apple removed the HKmap.live from the App Store after Chinese media accused the company of helping protesters by having an application that monitored police movement in Hong Kong. In their statement, Apple said that many concerned customers in Hong Kong had contacted the company about the app. They have had immediately started an investigation and found out that the app has been used in ways that endangers law enforcement and residents in Hong Kong. The application developer denied such accusations and called Apple's decision politically motivated. The second situation when the product was banned was when Google had removed the game from Play Market. The revolution of our times is dedicated to protests in Hong Kong. Although it was a free-to-play game, it had a microtransaction system. Players could buy different bonuses ranging from $1 to $15 in price. The anonymous developer told Hong Kong Free Press that 80% of funds earned from the game would be pledged to Spark Alliance, a legal fund for detained protesters. Google's representative said that the game was removed due to violation of the rules of Google Play Store. It is not allowed to monetize modern tragedies and major conflicts. However, WSG office said that they had received documents indicating that the company removed the application at the request of Hong Kong's police. So why are companies so afraid of losing China's market? The reason is pretty straightforward. On the global e-commerce scale, China has the largest market share. In the end, it all comes down to money. According to statistics, China now handles more transactions per year than France, Germany, Japan and the UK and the United States combined. That is why Western companies have found themselves struggling to appease people from both Hong Kong and mainland China. In a rush to look apolitical and keep China as a client, they are indirectly supporting censorship. Enacting can also hurt. So how can you help Hong Kong protesters from abroad? If you want to support affected people, you're more than welcome to check the link listed in the description. It is a thread in Hong Kong's subreddit where there are ways in which you could help the protesters.
La révolution n'est pas un dîner. La bomba est un tigre en papier. Les masses sont les véritables héros. Les ricains tuent et moi je mets ma